So it's a milestone year for me this year. I'm going to be turning the big 5-0.
We've just had a weather warning that this weekend there's going to be a severe amount of rain. They're expecting flooding in the area.
Some trails and tracks from animals that we don't know what they actually are.
Happy New Year, everyone. Hope you had a really lovely holiday, and I hope you're all keeping well and had some really fun times with friends and family, whatever you chose to do. We had a nice time. We saw some friends, and it was a little bit quiet and a little bit kind of, social, and it was a little bit of everything, and we enjoyed some good Christmas movies, and we still got the Christmas puzzle, which we've only got a couple more pieces.
3 pieces left. I'll let Kirsten finish it.
And this is our first vlog ever, which is pretty epic and exciting and nerve-wracking and all of those emotions. It's been a big decision for us. We had a lot of questions last year from our audience and our followers that they wanted to know a bit more about kind of where we live and how we live and our lifestyle. It's a lot to invite people into your home, into your personal space, and kind of show them, kind of how you live. It's, you kind of think, oh. But we've decided to kind of take the plunge and do it and try it and see how we are at it and see if you like the videos. So we're kind of excited to do that.
And hopefully you'll find it quite interesting.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is new to us, as Kirsten has said, so if there's anything that you guys would like to see more of, or if there's any suggestions, please just drop a little comment below.
Yeah, we want to keep it a really nice, chilled space, really friendly, really supportive, really kind, gentle kind of community that we want to build, and just kind of show you a little bit more about kind of our country living experience. We need to go out today and we need to get some more seed for our wild pheasants. Where we live, all of our boundaries around our garden is farmland. Basically, it's just sheep around us, which is great. And in COVID, we noticed that some of the wild pheasants started to roam into our garden, and we really love having them here. They're very entertaining, and so we want to really encourage them to come in more. So we started feeding them, and typically I feed them kind of corn and wheat, and that's kind of a really nice, cheap, healthy way of feeding them. So we're going to be going down to a country store today. We don't go to pet shops and we don't go to kind of garden centers because it's too expensive when we're buying in the kind of quantities that we're buying in. So we go to a country store, which is kind of more of an agricultural store. So that's kind of people who keep poultry and chickens and things like that. So they kind of sell the bags in like 25 kgs. So we buy a bag of wheat or corn or pellets, depending on kind of what's going.
And sometimes they've got kind of poultry food that's on sale because it's expiring or whatever it is that they use for, like, feeding chickens or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So if it's a good deal on that, we get that, and then the pheasants have a bit of a treat of their own.
now, but I think they will later. It's just a bit, it's gone really windy again, and the sun's gone behind this really dark cloud, so even though we put the food out, I think you'll meet them. So we just hung up this gorgeous painting that was given to us by a friend. It was a complete surprise and it was a really special gift. She painted it for us this Christmas and gave it to us a few days ago, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I am completely in love with it. I hope it comes across well on the camera because it's quite a dark room, but she really has captured the essence and the feeling of the owl in the eyes. I just think it is so beautiful. I absolutely love it. I wanted to put it in here because this is, the utility room is typically my space. It's kind of where I work. I do a lot of flower arranging and harvesting and washing veggies and things that we grow in the garden come in here for processing first. And so we renovated it last summer, so it all feels really new still. I started to put up some vintage plates on the wall just to kind of keep that farmhouse kind of look running through. So I picked these up at just some vintage kind of antique kind of places last summer, and then I put a few up there, so I need to continue those on along here. And then on this side, I've got another one above the sink, which is lovely. The kitchen is typically kind of Mars's space. That's kind of where he's always doing his cooking and his baking and things like that. So this is really my space. I really wanted to have the painting somewhere that I would see it all the time. And you know what it's like. You do a lot of laundry, and so it's amazing how much time you end up spending near the washing machines. so this is really lovely. And also from this window, this is where I can see my pheasants. I can check on them and see what they're up to. It's still really blustery, so I think that they're still in the hedgerows hiding, but we did see a couple come out.
So it's a milestone year for me this year. I'm going to be turning the big 5-0.
We need to organise a little something.
Yeah, we do, but we've still got loads of time to prepare for that. But one of the key things that I want to do this year is start to focus on myself a bit more from a health perspective. We typically eat very healthy lunches during the summer because we've got our own salads that we pull from the garden. During this time of year, we're a little bit naughtier. We tend to eat a lot of kind of junky type stuff, snacky type stuff, sausage rolls, that kind of thing. So for example, today we're going to be having a ramen with lots of fresh vegetables. Last year for the first time, I discovered that I was actually losing concentration. I was waking up on certain mornings and I was feeling a little bit foggy. That in turn would make me a little bit irritated because it was affecting my productivity. And I also found that my energy levels were down. So not only are we going to start eating more healthily, we're also going to start taking some supplements. I think that most of us that live in the UK at this time of year, there's obviously not a lot of sunshine around, so a lot of us experience vitamin D deficiency. So we've got some supplements for both of us. I'm going to be taking the multivitamin for men. It's from a company called Hardy Nutritionals. Kirsten has got the women's version. And we're also going to be taking probiotics that's going to assist with our gut health. I'm going to be taking the capsules and Kirsten's going to try the powder.
The actual powder kind of smelled really kind of grassy and hayish. So it smelled really nice. I like that smell. Still smells quite grassy. Oh, it's quite nice. It's a really nice flavour actually. It's kind of sweet, and it's not an artificial sweet. It's a we just looked at that. You said it's fennel and licorice root. And yeah, you can really taste the licorice root. It's not a licorice allsort flavour.
But it's an aftertaste.
Well, yeah, it's more of an aftertaste. It's kind of very subtle. But it kind of tastes like licorice, but kind of like an earthy licorice, like a rooty licorice. It's really, it's nice, really lovely. So we're gonna just nip outside because we've got a lot of pots that we have, which we do every year, but this year we've done the most that we've ever done. So we've got the pots here, and they're the ones with the soil on, and those are actually our spring bulb pots. So they're gonna have like tulips and hyacinths and some lovely things for spring. But as you can see, there are some of them, that one's completely waterlogged, which is not good. So I'll have to we need to put a screwdriver through the bottom to just release the hole, because obviously the hole's blocked, and just to do that, and it'll release the drainage. And then those ones, you can see how wet they are, and even though the drainage is really good, they've all got a nice big hole at the bottom. So I don't know why that one's gone waterlogged. We need to get them out of here because it's just too much. And if your pots just start to get really waterlogged like this, it just means that the bulbs inside just start rotting, because they've obviously just sitting in so much water, and then you won't get any flowers. So that's not good. So what we're going to do is we're going to gather all these pots. We've got some here, we've got some there, and we're going to move them down the other end of the garden, because at that end of the garden, try not to move too much, don't want to make you motion sick. There at the other end, down that bit. This is so funny doing it backwards. So there is a little coal frame that Mars built for us. So we're going to move them into the coal frame, put the lid on, and actually just leave them like that for the next week, because we've had so much rain, and we've just had a weather warning that this weekend there's going to be a severe amount of rain. They're expecting flooding in the area, so we just don't need any more water on these pots. There is so much gardening to do, I can't tell you. I hope you guys enjoy gardening content, because we are going to have a lot of gardening to do. It's coming up.
Fetching look.
So that's it. Most of them are in. We've only just not been able to fit in one, so that's gonna kind of just go underneath the umbrella somewhere down there. So it'll keep it nice and dry. And just seen over the wall, the farmer has just started to drive the sheep onto this field. I don't know if you can see them, they're just coming over the top there. It'd be nice to have the sheep back on that field. We haven't had them on there for I think 2 months, so it'd be nice to have the sheep back on. And then we'll soon be having some lambs. The lambs, most of those sheep will be pregnant, so we'll be having lambs in March time. So I can't wait to show you the lambs. It's really good fun because we can sit in the garden here, and especially we love to sit on this bench there, and we get all the lambs. They run down this hill, and they use it kind of like their own racetrack, and they all kind of compete with who can come down the hill the fastest. So it's really good fun. Leopold got upgraded this Christmas. He got a new automatic pet feeder, which has just arrived, and so we're just setting it up. We've had automatic pet feeders for many years now. They're really great because, for example, if we travel or if we go out for the day and we're back quite late, it's just really nice to know that the cats are still being fed kind of on their schedule, so when they're used to it. And also, more importantly, for things like Olive, who has a bit of a weight issue, it's really good because it's able to really control the portions. So I'm not coming in and then putting in a bowl of biscuits, and then Mars doesn't know she's not being fed, and then he comes down and he's like, oh, she's begging for food, maybe she's hungry, she hasn't been fed, maybe Kirsten hasn't done it. And if I'm outside in the garden or something, then he comes and feeds her. And then anyway, Olive got her pet feeders. We had them for years, like 6 years or so. So they did last a fair amount of time, didn't they? But they both are on their way out, and we upgraded Olive a few months ago, and hers is working really well. And now we've just upgraded Leopold's. And they're also like, I don't know, does this one have Wi-Fi?
No, so this one's a lot simpler. This is almost an upgrade of the ones that we've currently got.
Oh, okay.
Olive got the super duper upgrade. I mean, kind of bells and whistles, Wi-Fi apps. Like, you know, we can feed her remotely and all the rest of it. This is a lot simpler. But then Leopold's feeding schedules are a lot simpler. Olive, we need to, as you said, just
monitor her really carefully. Yeah, true.
Last year we got some trail cams to help us capture some of the wildlife that we've got around us. We positioned them in kind of high traffic areas just to test them out. So we've got a ton of footage of ducks, of moorhens, of pheasants, that kind of thing. But at this time of year, we've always seen that a lot of the wildlife around us starts to come out. So I know that we've got badgers, we've seen foxes, there's also stoats. So what I want to do today is just take our trail cams that we've got, go down into the field, cut deep down where it's really, really wild, and position them there, because we have seen some trails and tracks from animals that we don't know what they actually are. So we're going to hook up the trail cams down here and hopefully capture some cool wildlife. All done, just in the nick of time. It's starting to rain again, so I've positioned both of the trail cams facing our wild field, where I'm hoping there's going to be a lot of wildlife, and hopefully we'll be able to have some positive updates to share with you in the weeks ahead.
I think that just about wraps up this week. It was the end of our first vlog, so you've got to go away and edit this now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I've already started. It's actually, I think it looks pretty good. I'm hoping it turns out well.
Yeah, I hope so. I kind of enjoyed it actually. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I hope you felt like you kind of really did come along with us for a few days in our life and do a little bit of the things that we do. Next week is going to be getting rid of all these Christmas decorations. The Christmas tree is behind the camera, so there's got to be a lot of Christmas decorations and storage and organizing. And then in February we start to think about planting our seedlings and growing our own veg. So February is, we're in what we call our studio, or we've converted it into like a greenhouse area. So that's where we start to sow all our own veg and get that ready so that can grow from seeds, and then we put that into our vegetable garden. We've got to do the log store maybe next week as well, organizing our log store and getting the logs rotated and restocked as well, and hopefully more pheasants and more wildlife. Oh, and we'll see what comes off the trail cam, if we get any badgers or foxes off the trail cam.
Hopefully the rains do subside now, because there's been a lot of rain.
And then we'll start to do lots of walks. We want to start doing at least a walk a week, because that kind of is one of those things that we keep kind of just never getting around to doing. So we start doing a lot more walks and taking you on some woodland walks, taking you up to the lakes, taking you up to some really beautiful parts of Snowdonia, that kind of thing. Hopefully lots of lovely content coming your way, hopefully relaxing and easy to watch. And if you're going to bed now, I watch most of my YouTube videos at night time and then I go to sleep, so I hope you sleep well. And if you're watching it in the morning, I hope you have a great day. And thanks so much for watching, and we hope to see you on our next vlog next week.
And before you go,
yeah,
hit that subscribe button below.
Please
give us a thumbs up.
Yes.
It'll just help us grow the channel.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in our next video.
Bye.